So, like, what do you want the most in your life right now? Or just, what do you want for a snack?
Writer original.
Okay, today's episode is all about wanting and how you can use desire to make your characters more compelling. It's also a lot about food. Kurt Vonnegut once famously said, "A character must want something, even if it's just a glass of water." How does this work? How can you integrate desire and want to make compelling, interesting characters you want to follow all the way through your story? We're going to talk about that today. Which of the following is the most compelling sentence about a protagonist's desire? Number 1, Jack wanted to kill the giant. Number 2, Jack wanted a spicy noodle bowl. Number 3, Jack didn't know exactly what he wanted. Which one you choose as the best sentence will forever determine, scientifically and forever, the kind of writer you are. Did you pick number 1, Jack wanted to kill the giant? Congratulations! You will be a best-selling author. This is what I call the big want. Most commercially successful books and films do this really well. They tell you exactly what the character wants on a global level. If it's a mystery, they need to figure out who was the killer. If it's like an invasion of an army or an alien race, it's we must stop them before this day. So this is compelling, right? Because you know what your hero wants. You know what's at stake. It's a big deal. Probably the world, maybe the universe is at stake, right? And so you know, and then every scene can logically advance the protagonist toward that goal or thwart their ambitions to get that very important thing done. So there's a reason that that works. There's nothing wrong with using it. It's great. It is the big want. But maybe you didn't pick that for your favorite. Maybe you picked number 2. Jack wanted a spicy noodle bowl. Now, what this means is, for your future as a writer, you're a poet of semantic precision, a lover of nuance and character. Or you're hungry, and you should probably eat something. Dean Koontz, in this horror book that I loved, he introduced this main character on page 1, and all he really said about this character was the character loved Nina Simone and beer. And I was like, I will follow you to the gates of hell, character. Like, I didn't know anything about this character. None of the ethical, moral things about this character, but yet, just those two very human level affinities, and I was like, I am in. Remember, like, just because something feels small in a literary context does not mean it feels small in the context of your life. Like, what have you done for a sandwich? I don't need to know, but we've all gone a fair ways for a sandwich at some point in our lives, right? Or to use the bathroom, or to get some sleep. I mean, these are these like core, animalistic, relatable desires. That's kind of another way that it's a small desire, but it's like the relatable desire. And we all have them. And it also gives you this incredible way to bring kind of like nuance and like sensory details. You should know, does your character eat healthy? Or do they like the big, greasy basket of fries? Are they like a meat eater, or are they a vegetarian? If they're vegetarian, where do they get their protein? Do they get it from peanuts? Do they get it from tofu? Do they get it from seitan? Do they call it seitan? Do they call it Satan on accident? Speaking of Satan, is this vegetarian character perhaps tempted by dreams of a pastrami sandwich they want in New York City, thinly sliced and completely delicious, with unlimited pickles and mustard on the rye bread? It's so good. You should know. Well, that's your assignment. Your assignment is write about your character. I'm going to get hit in the head by my assignment. Your assignment is write about your character's favorite meal. If you don't have a character right now, write about your favorite meal. And I want details. I want to be there at this meal. And if you dare, explain what this favorite meal says about you. You can be obvious or use subtext. I go both ways. Literary, commercial, it's all good for me. I do. I'm biliteral. Because perhaps you picked The third as your favorite statement of desire. Jack didn't know exactly what he wanted. If you picked this, then you are a literary writer! Get out! Get out of here! You and your James Joyce, and take your Carol Oates with you! Leave now, Mary Carr! George Saunders, Tobias Wolff, I see you back there! Get out! Never come back! I actually love Tobias Wolff. I tried to put hearts in there, but it didn't work with the edit. But I do. This is actually my favorite want. I think most people don't really know what they want. Like, they think they do. They might know what they want to eat. Maybe. You all know people can't figure it out once they get there. Change your mind at the menu. Ask the server too many questions. That's me. I mean, the giant want, like, we should all be so lucky to have the quest board of the giant wants in our lives. To have the opportunity to thwart an international espionage plot, or to stop the aliens. You know, we all hopefully want for a sandwich or, you know, some noodles. Like, that's natural. But, like, we don't know what we want. You can still have a character with the big dream, the big want, and the small want, and you can call them into question like we all do all day long. Like, you can have the guy, I want to kill the giant. Jack wants to kill the giant. But then, like, Jack just wants to kill the giant because he wants to impress his mother, and then it turns out his brother killed the Hydra, so she's not impressed, and his life still kind of sucks. Or Jack wants the spicy noodle bowl, but really he just wants to go to the Korean restaurant where he had the only date where he ever felt like he mattered to anybody, and he's chasing that feeling. He doesn't even handle spice very well. He's allergic to jalapenos. God help Jack. The best characters for me, they have the big wants, they have the small wants, and they have the deep wants. Now, counterpoint! You can have a character with a ruthless desire for crushing power and global domination. That's a good big global want that maybe a lot of people think is kind of vile. Or you can make them, like, really like a food that is empirically horrible, like banana Laffy Taffy, which, by the way, is the grossest candy known to man. Banana Laffy Taffy should be exiled to the world of Halloween nightmares, along with those black and orange candies, Chico sticks, and what else, Emily? What else is horrible?
Wax lips.
Wax lips? I like that kind of fun. Emily says wax lips also. I'm not sure. I don't mind wax lips. They're gross. Like, don't eat them. Did you eat wax lips?
No.
Well, they're not candy then. They're a toy. The big ones, the small ones, the deep ones, they can all serve to make your characters more compelling or more repulsive, depending on how you play them. But I encourage you to work with all of them. For me, character desire, it puts gas in the tank, it puts fire in the headlights, and it allows you to take that journey into that next place, into that next scene, into that next book. And it still allows plenty of room for surprise. Emily? Oh, God. Oh!